Oh yeah. Be armed here. This one, yeah. Fish market.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny. Fish? Fresh fish? Take as much. Fish? Fresh fish? Take as much as you need. It won't cost you a penny. Don't be shy. We have enough for everyone.
I've heard that I can find an organization hereabouts that goes by the name of the EOD. Am I in the right place?
You sure are. I happen to be a representative of the EOD. Pleased to meet you. My name's Anna. Can I help you with something?
Charles Reed. Just a few questions, if I may.
Of course. Ask away, Charlie.
Tell me more about the EOD.
What is the EOD? I mean, what do you do as an organization?
Well, we are a non-profit charitable organization. Actually, it's better to say that we're a gathering of volunteers. We're not an official charity yet. As for what we do, we try to help ease the suffering in our city as much as we can.
Oh, and how do you do that?
We provide fish for the hungry and fix the homes of the poor. We also patrol the streets at night to keep the wild beasts and bandits at bay. And many, many more things. Whatever needs doing. Anything to help the people, Charlie.
What does EOD stand for?
Everyone's obvious duty. When we began, it also had, is to help each other. But we dropped that part. It was a little bit wordy.
It's been great chatting with you, but I'm actually here to speak with the EOD leadership. You know where I can find them?
Not so fast, Charlie. Nobody meets the top brass without being a member. You need to earn a rank in the EOD first.
Oh, you're kidding me. What for?
You need to prove yourself. Show us through your actions that you're worth our time. No offense, Charlie.
Okay.
How can I join?
That all depends on what skills you can offer us. What do you do best?
Well, I'm afraid my resume's in my other jacket. Let me see. I was in the Navy during the war, and ever since it ended, I've been a private eye.
The sea provides. Turns out we have a job that's a perfect fit for you.
Oh yeah? What that?
Okay. Tell me more about this job.
Well, last night someone tried to break into our fish storage room. Luckily, the guards scared him off, but I fear they'll be back to finish the job. That's why we've been busy today giving away all the fish to the people. We'd rather it get into the hands of the needy than to some thief.
And you want me to find whoever this thief is, right?
You're smart, Charlie. I like it. Exactly.
Yeah, that was smart figuring that one out, huh?
Fine. Count me in.
Good. Thank you. Here's the address. Tell the guard the password, I serve the sea, and he'll let you into the storeroom.
See you later.
Okay. And I represent the EOD from the fish market. Asked me to investigate robbery at the fish storage in which for the fish. It is located in the shells on Hawking Lane between Warren Road and Liberty Road. And we need to tell the guard the passphrase, I serve the sea. Okay. And okay. They're doing good things. In the Shells Hawking Lane. Hawking Lane, where are you? We have you. Okay, and it was between Water and Liberty. Yes. Should be here then.
Do you want a fishy?
No, thank you. Don't want a fishy.
This used to be an okay place to live.
What are you selling, mister? I don't see any goods.
I offer what everyone in this Borg needs most. Safety and comfort. You a newcomer? Where are you staying?
The Devil's Reef Hotel.
Oh, old Victor always thinks so small. A man of your talents could earn his board 100 ways. Maybe you want some more spending money?
And a job for a private eye, mister? I'm always up for a good side gig.
That's what I like to hear. I'm Walter. I need someone capable to take care of an issue on my property. Local fauna, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Real estate's a risky business. How'd you get into it?
All my life I was a common Fisk trader. But I wanted more. I dreamed of being a landlord. A man who never works. So I scrimped and saved, and bought several houses. Gonna rent them to the refugees and newcomers. And I have even greater plans.
Okay.
Let me guess. You need a
need to
gun
do
for
that.
hire. Or is there another task?
I need you to place these incense burners on the top floor of my properties to drive off the wild beasts. Take a photo for me as proof.
Smoke that repels wild beasts. Does that even work?
Of course it will. No doubt. I bought it from a friend I trust.
Well, okay. Just give me the address.
Why doesn't it tell you
See
the
you later.
address? Like, oh, okay. Walking line between Inner Shine and Warren. Okay, so that one is over there. Derry. Oh, he has more house. Let's see. Then he had more. He has several. In Southern Coverside and Salvation Harbor. He has something in Coverside. Lincoln Street. Airline and Landing. Yeah, so it should be somewhere over there. Okay. We have one more, right? Salvation Harbor. 7 Oaks. An eel and castle. There's eel. There's castle. It should be here then. Okay. But let's do trophy. Okay, let's see. How are we gonna get there? We need to go a bit. Walk over here. Maybe up here. And see if there's a phone booth over there.
The door won't budge.
Okay. Maybe it's for later. Maybe. How did I decide to do this? This way. Hey, is there any of these in this? Oh, there's one up there. You keep, buddy. Bum, ba, da, 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 da. This bit. Pressing C for crouch. Put on that. Question if that one just went away or it died. What the actual heck? Quickly trying to find stuff for those respawn. Run!
Eagle and Tate!
Is this one Call of the Ocean? Just wonder what I'm supposed to be doing here now. Oh, and of course he hit me.
Eagle and Tate! What a truck.
Oh, come on. Oh, he's so slow to react after you swing. It's like you stand still and then you can move after you swung. So it's like... It's a shit show, that part. it's on the street left, right? Wrong street, sir. It's that spitting one that's such a pain in the butt one. I have to shoot it. Thing is, it doesn't say much except all of the ocean. Tonight they forced me to leave the hotel. Ran forward and when I passed the street of St. Church. Walking E. Brown. Question if it's on this side or if it's the other side. Two blocks an apple tree. Yeah, that must be that one over there probably.
He's mad. He's completely mad.
Okay, we got a few. Holy balls. That was a big thing. Okay, that big thing? No. Oh, damn it. 2 grenades on nothing. 10 grenades. Did nothing to that thing. What the heck did I end up down here for? That was so far away. Hey, Gunshock is yes, I finished Death Stranding. Sorry for my a bit of a late answer then. But yeah, I finished it. Yeah, overall I enjoyed it. It has its issues, but overall it was a really enjoyable game. More than I expected it to be. But it won't be for everybody though, that's for sure. Just wonder if I can do anything in here. Tap the thing up here. My insanity! Oh, my sanity is so low. Holy shit. Wonder what else I'm supposed to do in here though. Let's ignore that one for now. I need some better weapons or something. Oh yeah, we can do that one. Since we need to go there anyway. Another infested area. Do I have what the heck, man? I have the skill points. Let's see. That seems to be a pretty good one, and then we get this one. get some more crafting materials on us when we're walking around. Is this the one for the... This is something else then. Is it for one of these? No? That one is there. Looks exactly this. Almost looked exactly like the previous one we were at. Does it say Joy Haven? Seems to be something that we are supposed to come back to, maybe. Look around. It's just those little things. Okay, there's nothing in here. Ooh, that's enough. That one in an infected area, or is it on the different side of the infected area? Oh shit, that one is gonna be rough to get to then. Really rough.
got business here.
I serve the sea. Anna sent me here to investigate the recent break-in.
Sea be praised. Finally. I'm Daryl Grimes. How can I help you?
Can you tell me what happened? Don't skimp on the details.
Not much to tell, sadly. It was a man, that much I know. He snuck in while I was upstairs, tried to steal the fishies, but I heard him. Nearly got him with a harpoon by Kay, but I missed in the dark. He got away, that Dane, but I wonder, why steal what you can get for free?
Yeah, that's a bit of a puzzler. What did this burglar look like?
Same height as you. Not too big, not too small. Nothing to write home about. An average Joe. If not for his, bald head. That guy was as bald as an egg. I could see the moonlight reflecting off the top of his head.
And what did he steal?
Nothing. I scared him off before he could.
Where did he go after that?
Don't know, pal. He was way faster than me.
What's the deal with the password and such?
Orders from the higher-ups. I don't get to ask why.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's enough for now, Mr. Grimes. I've got to go to work.
Here, take the key. May the sea bless you.
That is a very bold one, huh? Oh, how the heck can you shoot for that? Such bullshit. Oh, come on. Oh, he's tracking with the... Oh, such bullshit. Okay.
Wow. It pierced a good inch of solid wood like it was nothing. pierced a good inch of solid wood like it was nothing. The hull's fresh, still smells of the sea. No signs of decomposition at all. That's a fancy-looking bottle. Looks like it was taken from a lab somewhere. There's some kind of powder left on the bottom. I better not touch it. It could be dangerous.
Can deal with one respitting ones, but two.
Nice work. When I was a kid, I would have gone nuts for this. Well, if it was finished, that is.
Letter from the orphanage. Dear Mr. Grimes, we can't thank you enough for what you do for the children. In these dark times, your toys go down like a tall glass of water. We all pray for your good health every day. We also kindly remind you that we still await your visit. All our staff, and of course the children, are eager to finally meet our benefactor in person, so please don't hesitate and come as soon as you're able. With eternal gratitude, administration of Oakmont Street, Jeremo's Orphanage.
The hull's fresh, still smells of the sea. No signs of decomposition at all. Thing's dead as a doornail, but I don't see any wounds.
That sound, I thought it was something gonna pop up behind me then. Seems to me I'm missing a clue or something.
So first it ate the fish, and now it's dead. That's troubling.
Poison fish is spreading. else in here?
This guy must really be into his hobby to have such impressive tools. Nice work. When I was a kid, I would have gone nuts for this. Well, if it was finished, that is.
So why first now? Oh, it was because we had to get that tool.
Just a little bit more.
Come back, you thief. I'll show you not to mess with us.
I hope Professor Westerbrook never learns about this.
Darn pests. Mayor, take them.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
I hope Professor Westerbrook never learns about this. Just a little bit more. Oh no.
That one, and I should probably this one.
Darn pests. Mayor, take them. Come back, you thief. I'll show you not to mess with us.
A man broke into the fish storage, poisoned the fish with an unknown substance, then made a noise which alerted the guard, who chased him out.
You dig up anything interesting?
I sure did. Turns out our friend here wasn't here to rob the place. He came to poison the fish.
By the sea. Are you sure?
Well, that's what the evidence suggests, anyway.
Okay, this is horrible. Please don't tell Anna it was my fault, or she'll have me quartered.
Anna will quarter you. You're joking about that, right?
Wish I was. Anna, she's ruthless when it comes to punishing the guilty, EOD member or not.
That's unexpected. Huh. Don't worry. I won't tell her. You seem like a decent sort, Daryl. I'll make something up.
Thanks, Mr. Reed. Here's a little something to express my gratitude. Take care now. Still, I've done wrong and I deserve to be punished. I'll stay on guard duty for the next month without a day off. You have my word.
All right, you go ahead and do what you gotta do, I guess. See ya.
May the sea protect you.
Okay, was a mention of Professor Westerbrook. Okay, we need to get to the university. Yeah, well, we also have this house over here, but is this whole area affected or? This one. Okay, get that one. What I have to say. I'm not going in there with that big dude in there. There must be a... Maybe we can find a flow that is complete up there. Okay,
Choose wisely.
somebody's having a good time, I see.
Take as much as you need. It won't cost...
I've got news about your fish storage problem.
Oh, I'm all ears, Charlie.
It only looked like a robbery. Some guy broke into the storage to poison the fish. Near as I can tell, he succeeded, at least partially. I realize it's a lot to take on faith. Look, I've got a sample of what I think is the poison, though I can't identify it yet.
See, protect us. That's terrible. What kind of man would do such a thing, and why?
I don't know, but I aim to find out.
We need to stop distributing the fish. We have to let everyone know about this. Kay knows how many people might already be affected.
What do you want me to do with the poisoner once I find him?
I'd bring an end to him right there if I were you. The police and court are useless these days.
That wasn't the deal. I'm a detective, not a hitman.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Report to me when you find him. I'll see that the reward will be more than handsome, if you know what I mean.
I'll, see what I can do.
One thing still bothers me. The guard at the storage, Daryl. What was he doing at the time?
Your guard was vigilant. He fought bravely, but the poisoner knocked him out. You ask me, he deserves a raise.
Good old dependable Daryl. I hope he's okay. I'll see he gets his due. Goodbye, Charlie.
Now, refresh my memory. Where's the university here?
I know it very well. Here, give me your map and I'll show you.
You were a student there, I take it.
Yes, that's right. I earned my degree there a while ago. Are you surprised?
I just wasn't expecting to see a college graduate working here is all. I never had the opportunity myself. Could say I'm a bit jealous.
You'll find that here in Oakmont, a woman can achieve much more than on the mainland. Our university has always accepted women with open arms.
See you later.
Okay, so we need to get to the university then. That's the one. Oh, that's the library. Oh, it's all the way up there. Teleport back here then and go up, I guess. That one we can remove them. Oh no, actually, let's keep it there. I'm gonna hand in that one. Good. Oh wait. And in one of the cases. This.
I've looked into your delicate matter.
Excellent. Don't spare me any details.
Glover's dead. He was killed by a man named Sidney Stokes, who happened to be robbing his place. And he wasn't working alone. He had a partner, Phil O'Connell. Didn't end up much better. All over some kind of mirror, apparently.
Truck. Where is the mirror now?
Their employer has it. Some mystery woman. I didn't get her name, but she obviously wasn't fooling around.
I see. So, my enigmatic competitor has finally shown her hand. And the thieves are both dead, you say?
Sidney Stokes managed to make it out in one piece. Now, if I had to guess, he's probably holed up at his home. Want the address?
I would welcome it. I'll take pleasure in, educating him on some, shall we say, essential truths.
All right. I've held up my end of the bargain. Now, it's your turn.
Of course, Mr. Reed. Here's your payment. Now that you know everything, would you accept the second part of the job?
Let me guess. You want me to track down the mirror?
Yes. And the one who so rudely snatched it from my grasp.
I'm on it. Only got one lead, though. Our culprit had a bone to pick with someone named Francis. Mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. That is without doubt my father, Francis Throgmorton. May rest his soul.
Okay.
What's he got to do with this?
I found mention of the mirror in his records. That's what led me to take interest.
Your father was a prominent man. I'm sure he had enemies. Anyone come to mind?
None who would outlive him.
You mentioned your father left records. Mind if I take a gander at them?
The prospect of you rifling through my father's possessions does not fill me with joy, Mr. Reed. But if that's what you need, so be it. Take this key.
Seems an ambitious expedition. Like father, like son.
The unknown Africa.
Looking sharp. But I guess that's the point. Curious craftsmanship. These must be worth a fortune.
Gonna look at those, but Rosie.
1891 must have been a busy year for Francis.
Exclusive to you. Francis Throgmorton's expedition to Africa has proven to be one of the most ambitious, if sadly unappreciated, undertakings of 1891. He has returned with numerous historical artifacts, invaluable anthropological research, a newborn son, Kristen Robert, and a plethora of fascinating cultural insights. Today, in an exclusive interview with the Oakmont Chronicle, he has agreed to share some of those insights with us. Okay, we're gonna check that. Let me... what we should get. I wonder if we should get these two first, or if we should go for more ammo. Go for more ammo.
Now, that kid looks a little familiar.
Private correspondence, 12/12/1894. Francis, divorce is no simple matter these days. It never has been my legal practice. You must clearly define the fault you shall present to the court, the most common options being cruelty, adultery, or an incurable mental illness. It is my impression that your firstborn's death at the tender age of 7 dealt a blow to Bethany's health. I do sincerely hope she recovers, but the court won't share my concerns. Besides, Oakmont Asylum seems to be a very well-run place. Regard, C. Okay. Okay. Check this. Can't put it away.
1891 must have been a busy year for Francis.
Why can't you put away something after you used it? We've been here before. About Bethany.
I had some questions about Bethany.
I beg your pardon. I don't believe I know anyone of that name.
Well, it came up during the investigation. See, your father divorced, and his ex-wife's name was Bethany.
Say no more. It is beyond my earliest memories, but even if it weren't, my father's business is his own. I shall not engage in gossip.
Yeah, he does. But the other people in here looks like fish people, so...
Your father led an expedition back in 1891. Do you know anything about it?
I'm not the best person to ask, I'm afraid. I was a babe in arms back then, and my father never made his findings public. It is a great shame, of course. His work would have turned the science of evolution on its head.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey Murphys, how you
Have
doing,
a good
buddy?
day.
Albert Frog Morton obituary. Loving memory, Albert. Yeah. Didn't read that. Time to get a new alarm. Do you have a mobile phone, maybe? Okay, so that one is in the Oakman Asylum. This one is going to university. Oh, so it is on your phone. Let's check the asylum first. Yeah. Better get a good old-fashioned alarm clock then. You know, the ones you kind of wind up. No. So weird, it's like you can't climb over places. Check around the place first. Hey, sir. Not talkative. Now all of a sudden there is somebody sitting there. Wrong door, miss. Okay. Like there was nothing around there. Looking for fish? No, I'm not gonna look for any fish. I'm looking for the cause to all these weird things that's happening.
I'm looking for Bethany Throgmorton. You got any patients by that name?
We'd know if we had a Throgmorton. Although, we do have a Bethany. Or rather, we did. She's missing. And not on one of her usual walks.
Her usual walks. You let patients leave the building?
Oh, Bethany was harmless. and she always came back. This time, well, I've never known her to be like that.
You mean she broke out?
Yes, knocked an orderly out cold. She was out the door in a moment. It took us all by surprise. She's usually harmless.
Well, I guess we're gonna find the cure somehow.
Any idea where she went?
No. She had been odd recently, though. Muttering to herself, and she drew this strange picture on her bedroom wall.
That's interesting. Can I take a look at her room?
I suppose it couldn't hurt. She had a separate room downstairs. Here's the key, but do watch out for broken glass.
Bye.
Yeah, let me just put on some tea water. So you missed the Xbox Game Show conference then, huh, Murphys? See the new games coming out? On the mountains of truth you can never climb in vain.
Haven't you seen the beast?
No. Not seen the beast. Well, I've seen several different beasts. We did see a huge beast when we were below water.
The blood's almost dry. There's enough dope left in here to knock out a horse.
Okay.
At 7 years each, that's a lot of bad luck. I'm glad it's not mine. Huh. Was this taken at gunpoint?
That's the other half of the picture.
Someone had a field day defacing these.
Bethany's not. All I do for my dear Hammond. I cannot forget that. Shame on me for thinking that reprobate Squint had more common sense than reading him. He got the mirror, and I do not care how he did it. But when the time came for the exchange, he wanted more. So much more he had the gall to threaten me. Said he would find a new buyer. What's done is done. No one has the right to come between a mother and her child. Throgmorton's in mourning. Young Hammond Throgmorton, Francis Throgmorton's firstborn, has been pronounced dead. Mortally injured in a mysterious accident during a family holiday. Little Hammond could not be revived, despite his doctor's best efforts. Funeral will be held later this week, with only family and close friends attending. In his dark and tragic hour, we're trying to remain grateful for all we have, including baby Robert, cheered Francis Throgmorton. With my soul remaining here, I will do all I can to protect him.
I will find it, baby boy. I promise. Just tell me more.
Stop right there.
You no longer have any power over me. I have found my Hammond. He's shown me the way. Randall Glassworks in Salvation Harbor. I can't believe it. The answers have been there since last century.
Time to piece this one together.
Randall Glassworks in Salvation Harbor. I can't believe it. The answers have been there since last century. You no longer have any power over me. I have found my Hammond.
Stop right there.
Bethany escaped the asylum after getting the mirror from Glover. Next stop looks to be a factory called Randall Glassworks.
Let's see what's up here.
Watch your pocket. Some patients here have wandering fingers.
In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order.
My head! I still hear those voices.
Water me. Don't just stare at my leaves.
Doesn't worry me. Stare at my leaves.
Let's play. The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed.
Can you hear? Somebody's singing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can you hear it?
Luckily, no. Eventually you will end up where you are meant to be and will be doing what you're supposed to do. I'm not what has happened to me, I am what I chose to become. It all depends on how we look at things.
Eight, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, you can count a little bit.
What can I do for you?
Nothing, it seems like. Okay. Get the heck out of this place. Let's see then. Randall Glassworks in Salvation Harbor. Okay, and I have no idea what that is. We might have to go to the archives to find out where that one is then. We want to get to the university. Yeah, let's do that one now. Mix a little bit between the side and main story. I'll get my tea, right back. Grab the other way around. It's more infected area. Here we go. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is find phone booth somewhere. Okay, that's it. Oh, that was nothing. Phone booth up that way. Corona.
welcome to the University of Oakmont. How can I help you?
You recognize this bottle? You know where it comes from?
Sorry. We have hundreds of bottles like this in the university.
Fine. I need to know what's in it. Any suggestions?
You need an analysis. Well, I'm sure someone from the Department of Medicine can help there.
Okay. I'm looking for Professor Westerbrook. You know where I can find him?
You're the one bringing him the specimen?
Specimen?
Never mind. He's in the Department of Medicine. Let me show you.
You have a good day.
Goodbye, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Oakmont University Department of Medicine. I'm Samuel.
Charles Reed, private investigator. I have a few questions if you don't mind. You recognize this bottle? Maybe you could tell me what's inside.
That's one of our lab bottles. We have a lot of them. As for what's inside, I'd need to run some tests.
Could you do that for me?
These tests aren't cheap. And the other day I could get right to it, but we're, somewhat hindered right now.
What's up?
Our lab is crawling with, well, creatures. Professor Westerbrook's research is a little unconventional, and something went wrong. Really wrong.
Okay.
So, if I do a little pest control for you, you'll run those tests for me. For free?
Our budget is tight. You'd be helping the cause of science, Mr. Reed. Isn't that enough?
Oh, I guess science could help itself.
All right. Yes, you solve our problem, and I'll run the test for you. Off the books.
Okay.
Here's the key for the basement.
It wasn't so difficult to get through, was it now? Help each other. Water? EOD is banned to all staff and students of the University of Oakmont. Henceforth, any mention of the Everyone's Obvious Duty organization, also known as EOD, its symbolics, current and or past members, as well as espousing their beliefs, is forbidden on university grounds on pain of dismissal and or expulsion. The administration has received numerous reports of EOD activity and outreach disguised as so-called charity work throughout our university and all over Oakmont. This dangerous activity has reached epidemic proportions and cannot be tolerated. Yes, these things Come on. That one hit me for... What's this ridiculous then? Oh, I could have taken a first aid kit there.
I'm glad this thing is dead. Why do they even keep it here?
Experiment log, part 2, March 10th. With those pesky limitations removed, I can finally continue my experiments unhindered. Need to know more. Specimen remained alive even with half of its internal organs removed. It's fascinating. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough in biology as we know it. March 15th. I developed a way to reanimate their tissue, even in one that's been dead for weeks. This is monumental. Possibilities of it, the implications, does this hint at something hidden? Some trait present inside other creatures? And perhaps even ourselves. I would need to find volunteers. Maybe go away. Gain our sanity a bit.
Some serious equipment they've got here. Oakmont University is clearly well funded. What kind of person would even touch this? Not to mention dissect it.
Experiment log, part 1, March 2nd. I have finally received a living specimen. Sadly, it's only the smallest one. The Grants call it Mr. Handsome, but I think it needs a proper name. March 3rd. I was thinking about the name for the specimen all night. I began a series of experiments on the creature. So far it has proven exceptionally resistant to all the poisonous substances at my disposal, as well as acid and electrocution. Its shrieking, though, is bound to haunt me. March 5th. Last night I had a vision, thousands of hands wrapped around me as a blanket, and I heard a name inside my head. Stygian Harvester. Consider that your sanity is affected while you're reading.
I wonder what would happen if I press this button. Should I or shouldn't I? So very tempting.
Fuck that. Oh my god. Reach it had. Sanity is still going down. That's a. I can't get out. Okay, so you can reach me all the way over there. It's so... Oh, come on. I have to do all this part again.
Something I can help you with, sir?
Trying to get my sanity back.
The door won't budge.
Where was the other H down there? The dead door? I wonder about. What the heck can you... We didn't have any for sanity around here, right? Let's do do do. Wait to make one or not? Not like I'm lacking mats anyway. Okay, clear it.
Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
So, where's the experiment?
Your lab was, interesting. Running experiments on those creatures. What's up with that?
Oh, they're fascinating, aren't they? Convincing evidence of new branches in the evolutionary tree. Can you blame us for taking an interest?
Maybe not. But so much dead flesh down there, that's going to attract scavengers. Didn't you think about that?
Yeah, well, no. We'll be more careful in the future. Your point's taken.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin.
Ricin?
A highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow-acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
How can you tell if someone's been poisoned with ricin?
The symptoms take several days to develop. At first, it's like a common cold. But over several days, well, it develops into hemorrhage, internal organ failure, and death. It's not a pleasant way to die.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
About that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not here, though. He's been sick for the last few days. Professor Cavendish is away as well, on vacation.
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
Well... all right. This is serious. I'll help you.
Hello, Umut Loves.
Here's the key.
How are you doing?
But please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'd like to know a bit more about your professors.
What do you want to know?
I want to know more about Westerbrook.
He's the head of our department. He's been here for, well, at least 30 years. He's one of the longest-serving staff we have. As you've already seen, he's particularly interested in the wild beast that recently appeared in our city.
Yeah, that's quite the unique fauna you have there.
I've no idea how he did it, but Mr. Throgmorton's men brought him live specimens for his research. He thinks he's on the verge of a breakthrough in evolutionary theory. A secret that, once revealed, will benefit all humankind.
Some secret should stay buried, 6 feet under.
You're not a man of science, are you? It's not about why. It's about what if.
What can you tell me about Professor Cavendish?
He's one of the most brilliant teachers we have here. A PhD at only 25. Just imagine. His biochemistry studies are second to none, worthy of a Nobel Prize. If he could complete his work.
What's his problem?
I don't know. There's some kind of family trouble. It's made him standoffish and irritable, and easily distracted. I hope he gets through whatever he's going through. We need his talent, especially in these dark times.
I'll see you later.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Where's the brook?
The door won't budge.
Yeah, that worked.
These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Okay. I have to do this again.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Draft of an article. Brothers and sisters. Crossed out. Too familiar. My fellow Americans. Crossed out. They are Americans too. Citizens of Oakmont. How much longer would we put up with those fish-faced bass? Crossed out. Those sea freaks. Crossed out. How much longer will we put up with these? Those K-forsaken degenerates who call themselves the EOD. Crossed out. Like they're both in this. Where it's actually Cavendish. Not from Professor Westerbrook. This is absurd. It's been 5 months and they still haven't finished repairing my office. I'm done sitting in the corridor like some kind of waiter. I won't step foot into this building again until the works are finished. Or you give me Cavendish's office. You tell that to the board. I'm through with this farce, Westerbrook. George Cavendish, the Professor Oman, is the poison thief. He made himself a copy key to the poison lock. According to his student, he lives somewhere in Advent. Okay. So that means we have to find where Cavendish worked. Then we need to go to the Are there archives or... Okay. There won't be any police records.
I'll see you later.